Hey, thanks for joining me. We're going to look at Darkchylde, specifically remastered. I don't remember where I got this book from. Um, I don't think I've talked about Darkchylde on the channel before, except for there was like a Darkchylde diary or some bullshit where I think it was a bunch of artists doing like pinups of the girl, and it was like entries from the diary of the main character, which I couldn't imagine a more boring concept for a comic book. But this artist, Randy Queen, right? Right? Yeah. This, for a minute, was kind of a big deal. I feel like he was kind of coming out at the right time, the right era, kind of a bad girl craze. It's kind of got like a Image Comics, kind of specifically Top Cow, kind of Michael Turner Witchblade vibe, hot girl that can turn her, have monstrous things come out of her, like her hands and, claws and teeth and all kinds of cool shit that she can kind of become like this monstrous creature. But she's also a super hot girl. And I'm like, okay, it's got all these elements, kind of a Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibe because she's in high school. Now, therein lies where my problem with this book kind of shows up, and I'm kind of surprised that this shit was kind of okay in any era. And I'm not trying to shit on the creator. I get the point, but I dug this out, and I've kind of looked at it here and there once or twice before, and I never really paid attention, but I was kind of flipping through it for real this time, and look, you could call me a prude or be some kind of... I don't think I am at all, especially if you know the kind of comics I make and the stuff that I like. I like to draw comics. I make my own stuff. I like to draw beautiful women. What I'm not interested in is drawing a super hypersexualized underage girl. Not interested. And there's no comic book where I feel like someone who's... even if it's of age, 18... that still feels really creepy. And this girl is supposed to be 17 years old. Look at the hyper sexy shot, the big DSLs, the giant boobs, the hyper mini little skirt, the leggings. You can see her. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? Like, are you kidding me? Like, again, it's like you want to put this is a girl in high school. It's so kind of like, again, the Buffy the Vampire Slayer thing. Okay, sure, that's good. But then, in my opinion, you need to tone back and tone down the fucking hypersexuality of the thing. If you want to have hyper-sexy babes, you gotta make her older. Turn her into a young adult, please. Again, I know I'm not trying to sound like a weirdo, but the weirdo is built into this book. There's the high school, Salem High, of course, monsters, handsome guy, bad guy. There, like, again, artistically, I was never a huge fan of Randy Queen's work. He's certainly fine, and he certainly found his audience, and he had success with this, and I'm happy for that. I would love to have the kind of success that he's had with this. So again, it's another instance of where I can recognize the art's pretty good for me, but it doesn't really tick those boxes for me personally where I'm like, I'm going to pick up this just for the art. His work was never that good to me, but it's fine. It's fine. And again, people found the book and liked it, and it had a decent run. But yeah, this is a remastered version of the book. He talks about it in the back. I guess I could pull that up real quick. Why do a remaster? Basically, like, they recolored it. There were some lettering errors and things like that. Something with the famous blue moon on page 21. Just things they wanted to correct. And I get it. He was also saying, like, in an era where certain comics become collectibles and the print run was kind of low, it's hard for people to find the issue 1 of the original material, so why not put out another one? I respect that. So they did all of that. So I don't know what the exact difference is in what this looks like from the regular original number 1, but it's fine. This is the version that they would want to say is the best version. So you got credits: Randy Queen, creator, writer, penciler, Ulcer. I like that. I like it when they kind of be funny. You got Jason Gorder and Marlo Alquiza, great inkers as far as I'm concerned. And then just a bunch of credits and everything like that, thanking everyone at Image Central and the fans for making this remaster possible. And then, oh, of course, like gothic, scary text of, demons and dreams and whatever. So then we start off with hot blonde girl with the biggest tits and the longest legs fighting monsters or something. Again, I'm from this era of, teenagers, and like, when was this book printed? This is 90 something, 97. Where the bad girl craze was a big deal. And I, like I was saying before, I like hot girls. I like drawing hot girls. I like comics with hot girls in it. Like, it's a little childish in some ways, but I'm unabashedly a fan of it. But there are certain artists that draw certain ways that I'm just like, this is the best version of, and everyone else kind of pales in comparison. For me, at this time, and still kind of today, like, those guys are the best to my mind, and there's a lot of them, but it's like, it's the Mark Silvestri, the Adam Hughes, the Jim Lee, the J. Scott Campbell, Michael Turner, guys like that. And the average person might look at this and then look at versions of those other artists I just mentioned and go, what's the difference? To me, the difference is massive. It's as massive as her tits. It's just huge, and it's fine. And I feel like the artist is really doing his best work to make it look as good as he can. And I give him full credit for that. But the figure work is just not as good as any of those other people. And all those other people I listed are like masters at this stuff. And not everyone's going to be as good as the masters. But like, this big bulbous shoulder looks kind of weird. Her rib cage and this hyper super teeny tiny waist. The long, it's a weird thing to point out, but like the long kind of like from belly button to bottom of her pelvis here, it's just kind of a little bit elongated. The legs are over dramatically long, and that's just like a minor thing in terms of the length of the leg. But as a dynamic shot, big hot girl, rocky kind of ground that's crumbling. There's, I don't know if it's a bird contained in an energy bubble. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Big lizard monsters, skulls. Like, it's got all the kind of traditional gothic teenage bullshit angsty vampire monster crap that you would kind of expect from the era. It's fine. But it's not great. I imagine Silvestri drawing this, or Adam Hughes. I'm like, oh my God, can you imagine how good that would be? Now, giant double page spread of the dragon. That's pretty badass. The inks look amazing going on up here. The textures and all these lines and the wings, and the inks are great everywhere. But that shot of this giant dragon, like, that's really cool. The head looks great. The shooting fire, burning up all these creatures. The coloring looking pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Like, I cannot deny that at all. That is a pretty awesome dragon. Well done, guys. But yeah, the girl, I think, so the girl, she's dreaming of dragons and monsters and her fighting all these goblin things and hot, sexy girl face and giant monster and they're saying whatever. Like, again, I'm not really too concerned about getting into the minutia of the dialogue of the story. But I don't know. She's like connected to monsters in hell or something like that, whatever. Then she wakes up. And like, again, this is bad girl era. I understand the need to draw her back arched, tits pointing out, microscopic, barely visible thong underwear, leg bent, lying in bed, sexy babe. She's 17. It literally says in here somewhere on the next page or something like that where she's getting dressed, I'll be 18 soon. Yeah, be 18 soon, graduated. I'm like, I don't get anybody, any grown fucking man who would draw an underage girl sexualized like this. It's just so weird to me. I'm 49 years old, and I'm like, there's no world that you would ever put me in. Like, you can make cute, attractive girl in high school, but does she need to be drawn like this? And again, she doesn't fucking look 17. She looks 24. But again, you can't have her be 24 because then she can't be in high school. Put her in college or something. I don't know. Again, I feel like I've said my piece on that. I'm wondering how much flack I'm going to get back from anybody, which is, again, kind of weird. to be like, whatever, it's fine. Like, it's kind of not. It's kind of creepy. It unfortunately for me kind of ruins the entire book. That big elephant in the room, that stink on that hunk of shit is floating in the turd toilet bowl, and I can't unsee it. To see this hypersexualized underage kid, I'm like, just fucking stop with this. This is stupid. It has nothing to do with the story itself, the idea, the concept. The girl that's going to have magical powers and has to kind of rise to the occasion and discover who she is and fight off monsters. And she's going to meet cute boys and she's going to meet monstrous bad guys and going to have to fight. And there's going to be beautiful art and all that crazy stuff. That's all fine. But this one thing stops me in my tracks every minute of the every step of the way in the book. Anyway, she wakes up and there's some creepy guy. I guess it's supposed to be her dad, and he's portrayed to be really creepy, heavily shadowed. But yeah, they're in a new town, new school, no friends. She's really excited. So now she has to get up and get dressed. And again, giant tits, tiny waist, ripped pants. It's all kind of fine. But granted, I haven't been in high school since 1995. Girls didn't look like this. Do girls look like that in high school now? I know that the world has changed, and boy, I wish kids could just be kids. This kind of weird look on her face. Whatever, teenage girl. She's got to go to school. So, and of course, it's everything. It's in Salem, right? I mean, it says Salem High School. So, Salem, witches, all that type of stuff. That's fine. So everything's got like this hazy, foggy, set in fall kind of Halloween thing. And I guess it's kind of fine. It's sure. Why not? Pretty damn well drawn high school, the building and the structures. I wonder if that's based on a real high school. I'm going to say that that's maybe not traced, but very definitely referenced off something. It looks great. That Jeep is traced all fucking day. And that's fine. Because fucking cars are so hard to draw. I hate it so bad. That's just terrible. And that is very obviously traced. And why not? But yeah, there's a high school. There's jock guys in the Jeep. And they see the hottest girl they've ever seen in their life. You can almost see the slow motion entrance right there. She just walks by them with her leather jacket and her pants with flowers on her little bag. And like, oh my God, she's the hottest girl I've ever seen. I've seen her in my dreams or some shit. I don't know. High school drama. And then she runs into creepy weird guy. Sometimes when you meet people, you like them immediately. Sometimes also the reverse is true. This guy gives me the major creeps. I'm talking goosebumps where you're not supposed to get him. What the fuck? I don't know if I want to know. So she's in school, and of course, all the text from the teachers talking is blah, 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 blah. She's not listening. I get it. That's fun. She's like dreaming about demon monsters. They kind of look like Mark Silvestri-esque kind of darklings from the darkness, which is kind of not good because I kind of don't like the little darklings. I got sick of them really fast. And as she kind of fades out into her dream, she wakes up and screams, no, and everyone looks at her and like, excuse me, new kid, sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And then, of course, Ariel Child is noticing the cute jock guy because, of course, that happens. Well, now we got to flip the book on its side. And so cute jock guy, and they're talking, and she's flirting, and of course she's got to look super hot and big fat lips, firm thighs, supple breasts, all that shit. You know what I'm talking about? She's 17. Whatever. She's dramatic. She's got to brush her hair out of her head. The jock guy's like, oh man, that's the hottest girl I've ever seen. Now she's back in her bedroom after school. What is going on with the expression on her face? Like, I know that they're trying to imply that maybe she's embarrassed and she's feeling kind of stupid. Now we get into a scene in the book that I'm like, okay. Does this work? I don't know. We'll see. Lots of text talking about the cute guy in high school, and I think that I'm not sure what was going on with the guys coming up to her house, but they show that Dad, Um, yeah, like she says, car door, dad must be home. Great. Dad, that's a good one. I usually just call him Robert. He hates it, but dad just doesn't feel comfortable. So I'm guessing it's supposed to be her biological father. I'm guessing either if it is, it's creepy. If it's like not her biological dad, it's still creepy. But basically, he walks into her room, starts getting undressed, and tries to like SA her. YouTube gets really kind of pissy about saying certain words, but he tries to assault her. Not like beat her up, but like, I'm like, what the fuck? So, okay. Something like this, like, it literally, okay. It says, no words are spoken, but Robert has a faraway look in his eyes that speaks volumes. It's a look, sadly, that's intention is clear. Not with words. No, he says he doesn't respond, not with words, but a cold, distant rage in his eyes can only be reasoned. God damn it, I can't see this fucking text. Can only be reasoned with a rage more powerful than his own. So they're kind of not exactly super duper saying it, but they're saying it enough. Like he's trying to assault her. That is a horrible thing to happen. So I understand that they're trying to, and they're not portraying it as awesome. Like it's a horrible thing, of course. But it's like in this kind of a book with her over sexualized and then suddenly gets assaulted by her dad. Like this, the balance of the themes, I don't know that it works. You know, I guess it would help if I'd seen more issues and see how this kind of is played out. Again, they're not trying to play it up like it's funny or cool or anything like that at all. It's a horrible thing, but it's such a real world horrific thing that would happen to anybody. I don't know if they're implying that it's happened to her before. It kind of seems like the implication would be that she's gone through this before, and that's just, it's sickening. And of course, the guy's going to get his comeuppance. So good. But does this kind of thing fit in this kind of book where the girl is drawn as like a hypersexualized object at every turn? Like, I don't like it. I don't think it works. I don't know. But anyway, this is like she has to be, you know, her powers manifest at moments of heightened stress, right? Just like the X-Men. Her eyes burst and suddenly she's got big claw hands and swipes at his face, gouging out an eye. So now, because she was just getting physically assaulted, she's got to sit there with her ripped up outfit, her tits almost hanging out, super microscopic thong underwear. Like she has to look fuckable as she was almost assaulted in the worst way possible. Like, if anybody were to present this concept to me, like, hey, I'm going to do this comic and it's going to look like this, it's going to be drawn like this, and I'm going to have this scene, I would say, dude, you got to fucking rework that. You got to change that. I'm sorry, it doesn't work for me. It feels really, it feels bad. It feels weird. Like I want to read comic books because they're cool, right? Especially a book like this. You could create books. There's works out there where they address serious issues in a very serious way, and they talk about it and they address it, and you could get into the real depth of what a person thinks and feels about some horrific issues that have happened to them. But a book like this, I just want it to be like monsters and fighting and blood and guts and hot girls are not underage fighting against evil and just make it look badass. But this kind of stuff, just like she's underage getting violently assaulted by her dad and we still have to make her fuckable. It just bugs me. Now again, she turns into a monster and breathes fire and melts his ass. So, okay, good. Thank you. Like, that's what should happen. And that's a pretty good, awesome drawing of the monster. I mean, that's her. She turned into this giant demon monster thing, vaporizes the guy. Great. We're all on board with that. I like that idea. And starts ripping the things apart. Her house starts burning down. Her jock boyfriend who was going to come and kind of hit on her and brought a rose. Can you imagine you're banging your hot girl and she turns into that monster in a moment of heightened anxiety and stress? Yeah, you'd never want to bang a hot girl again. And then there's some mysterious guy hanging out in the trees, and the bushes and the vines, and he's smelling the rose. He's like, perfect. All right. Creepy, dramatic setup. Of course, there's a giant full moon behind every shot in the book, basically. And that's it. So this type of stuff I kind of like. The sketchbook, getting kind of behind the scenes of what's going on. This is kind of fun to see them working out ideas. And again, I'm always a big fan of sketchbook stuff. That's all kind of cool. But yeah, he made this book for, I feel like my memory is quite a while. There's a lot of issues on it. I don't know if more of that type of stuff where her getting assaulted gets addressed on any other level. And again, I don't know. I'm just repeating myself at this point. I know they weren't portraying it as awesome, and that's of course to their credit. But I'm like, it's just the balance of everything with making her look like this, but have that happen. It's just weird, especially in a book like this from the 90s, from Image Comics. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to have this cliche, hypersexualized nonsense with some real world horrific stuff. It's possible to make that work, but I don't think that they did it here. So I don't know. I mean, tell me what your thoughts are. Anybody who read this, what did you think? Did you even catch on to the things that I'm sitting here looking at, or is it like you don't think about it in terms of like that? Like, what did anybody who read this? What did you think about it when you first kind of dug into it? Am I being overly dramatic? Am I being a little bitch? Very possible. Yeah, that's all I got for this one. It's kind of interesting. I definitely don't have any more of these books as far as I know. I'm almost certain I don't. But if I run across them, I guess we'll see. Anyway, that's all I got for now on this one. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. See you next time.